and welcome to Katie Bell Physiotherapy and Wellness. Today we are doing a lower body workout for intermediate level. You only need some simple equipment like a spiky ball or tennis ball and either a roll towel, a large thick block or book and a head cushion. So feel free to grab that equipment now and join me on your mat. So starting with your spiky ball, I'm going to place the ball underneath my foot and start rolling through the centre of my foot. So I'm putting pressure into the base of the toes and then rolling the ball towards the heel. As I do this, I'm trying to create open length through the back of the foot, seeing if I can take out any additional tension that might have crept into there. If you notice any area that feels sharp or sore in the joints, feel free to avoid this area or just stop this exercise. As this is your home workout, please take care to do all of these exercises within your limits, and if you have any problems, avoid or adapt the exercise, and if you need help at any point, do drop us an email, we'll be happy to talk to you. Okay, let's keep the ball in the centre of the foot now, and then lift and lower the toes. So in this position, you'll see, the ball is underneath my arch of my foot, and my toes are just lifting and lowering. You know, what this is doing is lengthening out, opening out that connective tissue underneath the foot. I'm just making a little bit more space in that muscle tissue and soft tissue, but I'm also creating more ability to control my balance as well. I'm going to bring my heel down onto the floor now, gently straightening but not over bracing through the knee. Can you see the difference? That's a braced knee, that's a soft knee. Then I'm just going to gently lean forward, either stepping the foot or just stepping the foot to the side so I can feel a stretch into the middle of my calf or lower down into my ankle. Okay, last 10 seconds there, just allowing ourselves to have a nice stretch into that calf, helping to open up the back of the leg. We're going to be doing lots of work down through the pelvis, through the gluteals and down through the legs. When you're ready, let's release off and let's switch to the other side. So I'm going to roll the ball into the centre of the foot, massaging from the toes to the heel, creating lots of length here. Opening up was going to help you to feel the foot more. It's also going to stop you compensating and gripping through your toes when we're trying to balance. Let's do 2 more of those rolls. Then I'm going to bring my ball into the middle of my foot and lift and lower my toes. This is called threading. So we're just doing this little threading action and we're just giving a nice little kind of glide that connective tissue. Okay, let's do 2 more here. And then when you're ready, roll the heel onto the floor, straighten the leg and step up nice and tall. You can bring that other leg forwards or out to the side as feels okay for you. Remember what I was saying about having the stretch in the middle of the calf or lower, not into the back of the knee joint. If you do tend to be quite mobile and flexible, it's tempting to really straighten your leg, but what this can actually do is tug on the attachments and actually irritate the back of the knee joint. Okay, last 5 seconds there. And then when you're ready, release off, and then we can just pop that ball out the way. Okay, so we're going to go into some standing exercises now. I want your feet underneath your hips, spine nice and long. So you get this feeling of lengthening up into the crown of the head, but simultaneously grounding down into your feet. So let's go into our heel raises. So exhale up, we come onto those toes, and inhale back down again. Exhale up onto those toes, inhale back down. Feel just that nice smooth action as you piston through the ankles. Exhale up and inhale back down. So hopefully by now you're starting to become aware of those calves and you're aware of the weight going into your toes. As you come up, try and keep your weight even between your big toes and your little toes and not sickling out into those little toes. On your next one, let's come up here now. We're going to bend those knees, release the ankles, and then come back to standing. So you'll go onto toes, bend the knees, release the ankles, and back to standing. And this is our foot series. Great exercise for balance control, also good for coordination, and great for strengthening the lower body. So I want you to imagine you're hovering a balloon in between your knees. You don't want to pop it by crushing your knees together, but you also don't want to let that balloon float away by letting those legs drop out to the side. Okay, on your next one, let's hold it here now. Can you release that right ankle and your left ankle? Right ankle and left ankle. So keep pistoning, alternating sides. As you do this, draw those shoulders back, lengthen through your spine. Imagine you're sitting down into a chair behind you. And that will help you keep that lower back in that lovely long position. Let's do 2 more here. And you're ready, hold for me. 3, 2, 1. All the way back up onto your toes. Go on, stay here. 3, 2, 1. Go on, back down. Whoops. Hold it there. Don't let yourself sickle. Don't let them drop together. Keep nice and tall. On shoulders back. 3, 2, 1. All the way up onto those toes. Hold it there. Go on, lengthen through that spine. Connect down into your feet. 3, 2, 1. And when you're ready, release back down again. Fantastic. Okay, so this is where you need either your book that you went and found or your block. Now I'm going to come and stand on a little block here. Just popping my foot on here like this. It's just to give me a bit of clearance. If I step with my foot down, you can see how my hips are wonky. So I want to come and level my pelvis off and soften my supporting leg. So I'm going to start first off just floating that leg up and seeing if I can balance, and then tapping it back down. And again, floating off and back down. Let's bring our arms in. So sweep those arms and through. And again, sweep and through. I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to go sweep and through. Sweep and through. Keep going. Sweep and through. As we do this, try not to get a counteracting arch and slump. Try and stay long. Okay, on your next one, we're going to stay here. We're going to take that leg out to the side. So nice and tall, leg out to the side here. Don't hitch that hip up, and just see if you can go for a tap. So we're trying not to drop the body. Stay tall. Go on, tap, tap. And as much as you're thinking about making the effort to lift that leg up, I want you to almost simultaneously, I'm going to lift out of that hip. Lift. Go on, lift out this leg. Keep the supporting leg nice and soft. Okay, hold it here. Go on, 3, 2, 1, back to taps, and go. And lift, lift, lift. Go on, 3, 2, 1, hold. Go on, lift, 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 nice and tall. And when you're ready, take that leg behind you. Off you go for tap, tap. Now, the temptation here is either to start drooping forwards or to really arch your back to try and make that movement happen. Now grow tall out through the spine. Keep lifting that leg behind you. Go on, lift, 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 lift. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now hold. Go on, lift, 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 nice and tall. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We're going to change it. We're going to come down into a little scooter and then tap back up. So down and up, down and up. So as I do this, I'm bringing down into my knee and tapping back in. Out and in, out and in. Go on. Let yourself fold with this. Don't lose that spinal position. Let the elbows piston with this action. Okay, on your next one. Here we go. Hold it here. Go on, connect. Now tap, 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 tap. Go on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, keep here. Hands to hips, straighten this leg. Now balance and see if you can start hinging forwards. And then releasing back to standing. And again, exhale for your warrior 3. Balance exercise, hinge forwards. And back through. Make sure this hip isn't rotating to the side as you do it. Keep your hips and your chest, your shoulders, your head all facing forwards in the line of your toes. And again, exhale. That body and leg is staying in one straight line. Last one. Okay, hold it there. Stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And step in. Give that supporting leg a nice shake out. Now, we might like to step that supporting leg behind you and flex this front leg as we reach up and over. Stretching out that side of the body, making sure you're not overly gripping into the waist, really isolating all of this into the hips and the bottom. Okay, 3, 2, 1, up we go. When you're ready, I'm going to switch over onto the other side. So let's step up onto our block or our book on the second side again. Nice and active through this hip, nice and long through the spine. Start by coming up into that little balance and then release back down. And again, up you go into your balance. And release back down. Keep that movement going. Keeping the knees straight but soft. And back down. And again. Okay, you've got 2 more here. When you're ready, let's start bringing through the sweeping arm. So when you finish your 2, come through, sweeping that arm. Well done. So allowing the upper body to twist very, very slightly is going to help you just to get a little bit of extra challenge for your core. But also it's a lot more normal for you to be scissoring here at the legs whilst your chest is rotating. Last one. And then when you're ready, let's take that leg out to the side. Now again, try not to hitch with the hips, just go for that lift. Lift. Now as we do this, grow tall, 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 tall out your spine, lift out this hip. Keep going and tap, 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 tap. Go on, keep that there, ready, steady, lift up and hold. Go on, float, 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 nice and tall. Engage that core. For 3, 2, 1, off you go. Taps again, tap, 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 tap. Well done, keep going. 3, 2, 1, lift up, go on, nice and tall. Find that balance, lift, 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 lift out this hip. Go on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Okay, and tap behind. Okay, so we're going to go out and in. Now, stay there with that leg, long through the spine, don't arch the back. Now, can you lift and lower? Tap, 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 tap. Keep going, tap, tap. Keep this core switching on here. It's very tempting to start arching the lower back. If it feels too much, just tap in and out if you can't get that lower back to do what you want it to. On your next one, let's hover off, hover off. Go on, stay, stay, stay. Core switching on, lift, lift, lift out this line through the body. Soften through that supporting knee. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so we're going to tap in and out now. We're going, remember, for this. Tapping in and out, in and out. If and when you've got that tapping action happening, start pistoning through the supporting knee. So just start here tapping and then bring in the knee as well. Fantastic. Tapping in and out. In and out. Now your weight doesn't really go into the back leg, you're just tapping it. So no more than 10% of your weight into your back leg. Most of this is here in the supporting leg. Well done. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, off you go. From here, can you lift off and balance? Stay there. Long body. Now start folding forwards and back 3. And again, fold forwards and back through. So chest and hips are facing forwards. We're not twisting and rotating. Let's do 2 more. Fold and through. Fold and through. When you're ready, release off, give those hips a nice little bend and take that back leg behind, flexing that front leg, stretching all the way over, creating that nice long length through the side of the body. Fantastic. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more open around the hips, creating some nice stretch down the side of the body, around this pelvis and into the lower back as well. Okay, so let's pop our blocks out of the way. And we're going to come down onto the mat. We're going to go into a roll down. So in your own time, set yourself up into a neutral, long spine, and then peel through the head and the neck, just allowing yourself to drape forwards, rolling down towards the floor, soft knees, heavy head, heavy arms, hanging out here at the bottom. And as you breathe out, let's roll back up again, just creating that lovely long length through the spine. Let's go again in your own time. Exhale, peeling down, rolling down towards the floor. Nice long arms, let the jaw relax, lift the tailbone high, but keep the weight forwards in the foot. Then as you breathe out, engage that pelvic floor and core, peeling the spine all the way back up into standing. Okay, on your next one, we're going to come down onto the mat. So in your own time, peel through your head and neck, all the way down. I'm going to come out with those hands here onto the mat. Okay, so So we're going to start by doing a little bit of mobility around the legs and the lower body. So I want you first of all to hitch those hips up into the sky, taking yourself to a downward dog, holding for that breath in, and then coming back down again. So as you do this, I want you to think about lifting high through the tailbone, connecting these ribs in, and really pushing those hands over your head. So we're not crouching into this, we're long, like we're diving into a swimming pool. So keep going in your own time, hitching up through those hips, tucking those ribs in. And then exhale, transition back down again, resetting those shoulders. And again, off we go, all the way up, holding nice and long. And then all the way back down again. One more time for this nice mobility. Up we go, lengthen and stretch out the backs of the legs, lift your tailbone high, tuck those ribs in. And then when you're ready, come back down. And this time I'm going to step my front leg, so for me, my right leg forward, and I'm going to go into a little lunge forwards and backwards. So I'm looking for some stretch here around my hip and around my leg. If I'm finding this is not a good position for me, I might like to do it up here with my hands onto my knee, or if the movement isn't working for you, just find your stretch and stay there. You might choose to be here, or you might choose to be back. Forwards and backwards to start for me. So we're keeping moving if it's possible to start with, just to start kind of gliding and nudging into those muscles. Okay. On your next one, we're going to come back here and bow ourselves forward over our leg. Again, if your spine doesn't like to flex, keep it nice and straight and just hinge forwards at the hips rather than releasing that whole entire spine. That's it. Keep that position there. Keep your hips in the centre. Try not to scooch across over your supporting leg. Keep in the middle. Go on, sit back, sit back, sit back. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's come forwards. Now I'm going to leave my hand down to the floor. And then my arm is the same as my front leg. So for me, my right, I'm going to lift up. I'm going to come into a little bit of rotation. And I'm going to lean forwards into that stretch. If any of those elements are not suitable for you, just avoid them, adapt them. We'll stick with the first stretch. Okay, 5 more seconds here. And then I'm ready, I'm going to bring my hands to the inside of my legs. My hands have disappeared for you. And I'm going to let my knee just come and roll in and out to the side. Again, mobilising my hip. If this doesn't feel okay in this flex forward position, I might stay here, either hands onto the wall beside me or in front of me, so I can support like this. I've got my hand here on the wall, there we go, you can see like that. And I'm just letting that knee roll in and out from here. Okay, let's do 2 more here. Finding that space in that hip. Perfect. Okay, when you're ready, I want you to walk that leg round, releasing it back behind you, and you're going to go into your downward dogs again. So you might like to do this from your elbows if you've got any problems with obliques. Exhale, up we go. Inhale, back down again. Exhale, up you go. Stretching out those legs. On your next one, let's hold it here if you can. And just release your weight into your left foot. Feeling an extra stretch into the left calf and ankle. And then release your weight into your right foot. Feeling the extra stretch in the right side now. When you're ready, release the pressure so it's even, bring the knees down, and let's step the opposite leg through now. So now I've got my left leg through, so my leg that's away from you. I'm going to start nudging forwards and backwards. Remember all your modifications you got are coming up into high kneeling, or using some furniture or the wall near you to support you as you move. I'm trying to keep my pelvis facing forwards to the front of my mat and not rotating off to the side of the room. We've got 3 more of these glides. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, come back here. Drape yourself over your leg. Relax the head and the arms. Again, remember, if you don't flex your spine, if you avoid that for any reason, just elongate the spine, hinging at the hips, creating that stretch just through a different movement. Okay, next breath cycle. As you breathe out, support with that core as you now rock forwards into your low lunge. And we're going to place our same hand, so my left hand with my front leg, so left leg I'm turning towards to face that leg. And I'm going to just gently rotate my body, and I'm leaning into this stretch. Any problems, again, just ease out and modify. Choose a position that works really well for your body. Okay, last 2 breath cycles. As you finish that second breath cycle, let's release our hands here to the inside of the legs. So both of our hands are on the inside. I'm going to let that knee roll out and in. So I'm going to turn to face you. So my knee goes out and back in. Out and in. And you can see how I'm getting this little rotation here at my hip, which is helping me to mobilize higher up into my pelvis and around my hip. Lovely. Last 2 here. And just holding there if you can, little stretch, and then release as you walk that leg round, releasing back in line. Okay, I'm going to walk myself back up into high kneeling now. Any problems at the knees? Grab that rolled towel, place it here, underneath your shins, get those kneecaps off the floor. If that's still a problem for you, come up into standing and do the same movements, but in standing. So, in this position here, we're going to do our half camel. So I'm going to reach my right hand, my front hand behind me, and I reach my back hand up towards the sky, so I'm making this diagonal line. I'm going to rotate to look towards you, and then imagine I'm reaching down towards my foot. Now I'm not just collapsing into my lower back. Before I go backwards, I squeeze my glutes, I press my knees down, almost to give me some force to lift myself out of my lower back. So connect those hips, rotate, rotate, rotate. You can touch your hand down to your ankle if you want to, but it's not compulsory, and if anything, I would think of a nice reach round and back rather than thinking about reaching too low down. What we're creating here is a stretch through the front side on the opposite side. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's spiral those arms out, and this time I'm going to go the other way. So my front arm goes up towards the sky, my back hand goes behind me. I'm connecting through my core, lifting myself out as I reach the hand up towards the sky and rotating. Go on, press, press, press down, lift out through the spine, engaging through the core. Okay, we've got 3 more breath cycles here. After your third exhale, let's spiral those arms round and releasing. Okay, final exercise to mobilize off around the hips. I'm going to come back down into hands and knees. I'm going to start by hip sways left and right. Now, if you've got any problems at your hip joints and they don't like the crossing or twisting in and out, you might like to stay just at this level here. If you're happy to, we're going to take those full hip circles, scooping round and out, back and down, and then reversing. Out we go, back and down and through. Imagining we're drawing a big circle around the mat with the hips. Okay, we've got 2 more here. Side, back, side and in, and again, side, back, side and in. Let's do one more time, releasing through that hip, and then coming back to the centre here. Well done. Feel free to give your wrists a little break, give them a squeeze if you're feeling any irritation around that joint. And we're now going to focus a little bit more on our strength and conditioning. So, from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come back to your hands and knees position. Any problems at the wrist, go to your fist position, so your weight bearing down into fist, or come and lean onto your elbows. So when you're ready, let's come down to hands and knees, placing those hands out towards the edge of the mat. And I'm going to start by sliding opposite arm and leg out and away. Now I'm not too worried about how high my arm and leg are going. I'm thinking more about length. I'm going to start with this alternating, sort of almost like a walking action. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Exhale, reach. I'm keeping that connection in my core, almost like it's lifting me up like a helium balloon down into my lower tummy. Great. Opposite arm and leg if you want to. You may choose just to focus here on your lower body and just do your legs. Okay, one more time each side. Well done. Okay, we've got that sense of activation in our spine now and warmed our hips up to the idea of which movements we're going to be doing. So I'm going to settle my hands down onto the floor now. I'm going to extend my leg out to behind me, so I'm using my leg that's closest to the screen. And I'm going to start by just tapping that leg on and off the floor. As I do this, I'm focusing first of all on my technique. So is my pelvis level? Is my supporting hip stacking over my supporting knee, or have I slumped out to the side? Okay, from here I'm going to start taking a little tap, left and right, left and right. And as I do this, I'm trying still to keep my shoulders and my pelvis nice and still. Now if this feels difficult for you, you might like to keep your toe on the floor and just sweep your foot across the floor. But if not, let's go tap, 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 tap. Fantastic. Keep going there, creating that nice activation through the glutes, shoulders away from the ears. 3, 2, 1. Okay, come back to the centre, allow yourself to have a little breather for those wrists. And then in a moment, we're going to come back, straight back into that side with that leg. So when you're ready, up we come. Back leg, sorry, front leg extends, so we're taking it back. From here, can you go, lift that leg off. Flex that foot for me now. Turn the foot in, turn it out. Start there for me. So a little twisting action at the hip. Now, see if you can turn your toes in and bring that leg across, and turn the toes out and take that leg out. In and out. In and out. Now, if that feels too much of a problem for you, pop the foot down on the floor and just do that twisting action without losing your spinal position. If you can, add that glide left and right. This is going to challenge you all the way through to your core, your shoulders. I want you just to feel that work happening very deep up into the hips, using those hamstrings and gluteal muscles to help you perform this. Let's do 2 more in each direction. Last one in each direction. And when you're ready, come and release that leg down. Well done. If you need to at any time, feel free to go to a shell stretch, or you might prefer to go up into a downward dog to stretch those muscles out. Okay, we're going to come back into hands and knees now, and we're going to go for our hamstring curls. I do want you to have your towel nearby, so just pop that next to you, because we're going to go for a few different exercises, and you might find that it's helpful to have that ready for when we need it. Okay, now let's come back to hands and knees. Leg is going out nice and straight behind me. Now from here, I'm hovering that foot off, and I'm going to my hamstring curl. So let's kick and extend, kick, extend. That's it. Nice. So we're getting that little flicking action. Now we're going to see if we can speed this up. I'm going to do 3 fast kicks. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, and release out. And again, off we go. 1, 2, 3, release out. And again, 1, 2, 3, release out. 1, 2, 3, release out. If you want to advance this, we're going to alternate our foot position. So we do point, flex, point, and out. Point, flex, point, out. Ready, go. Point, flex, point. Go out. Make sure you're resetting your posture between each one, that you're not drifting, and slowly kind of getting out of that nice shoulder position. Okay, one more. Flex. On that second one, out we go, and rest back down. Okay, we're going to keep working those hamstrings. So this is where you might like to use your towel. Not compulsory. You can alternatively use a Pilates softball. And I'm going to pop this towel here between my ankle and my hip. So I'm gripping onto the towel here. So from here, I'm going to go into my donkey kicks and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now I'm going to pop it out so you can see what my leg is doing. But I'd like you to keep your towel or your block or your cushion in place there. So setting those shoulders, we're going to point those toes up towards the sky, imagining that you're gripping a balloon. You don't want it to float away. Hold on to that towel or hold on to that cushion and press that foot up towards the sky. Now I've got you with that towel behind your leg. I'm forcing you to keep those hamstrings working. You might find that you start to arch and round with the spine as you do it. So connect with this core. Keep that action going, but make sure you've got this nice connection here that my spine is staying still. Okay, last 2. Last one. Let's hold it here. Go on, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze that towel for me. Keep those hips level. Keep going. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release out. And again, take yourself to a shell stretch, or maybe up into a downward dog. depending what you're wanting to release. Do stay there for another 5 or 10 seconds. Catch your breath, and when you're ready, we're going to come and switch and do that on the opposite side. So you stay facing the way you are. I'm just going to spin round, so again you can see what we're doing. So we're going to come back to our hands and knees position now. We're going to bring our hands down onto the mat. I'm going to extend my leg out behind me, and I'm going to start by just going a little lift and lower, that's it. So I'm not too concerned about getting my leg particularly high off the floor. I'm thinking more about length, it floating up. And again, I'm keeping this connection here, feeling like my ribs and my pelvis are supporting each other. They're not flaring and dropping. A nice long length to the back of the neck. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, release back in. Have a breather. That probably feels rather easy after the last few exercises. Okay, so now we're going to go for that twisting action where the foot is rotating in and out. Remember, you've got the option that if it feels quite challenging, just to keep the leg in the middle, just twisting the foot, almost like you're waving from your hip. Let's come back to our hands and knees position, setting ourselves up, extending that leg out nice and long. So let's settle the shoulders away from the ears, connect the ribs in, float the foot off and flex that foot. Now, twist, twist, twist. That's it. Okay. When you feel you've got that and you're happy that your supporting hip is over your knee, your pelvis is straight, we're going to start adding twist out, twist in, twist out, twist in. That's it. Take your time with this. I want to really work to keep that spine in neutral, shoulders away from ears, lower back nice and soft. Twist and twist. That's it. Well done. Keep going there. Now your supporting arm, so this front arm and supporting hip are also going to be working really hard. Let's do 3 more here. So either with them coming across the body and out, or in the middle here. So make this one your last one. When you're ready, release back and have a rest. Okay, we've got that leg working a little bit more now. Stretch away, and if your wrists are getting sore, feel free to fold those hands the other way, just creating that nice counter stretch for the back of the wrists. Okay, into hamstring curls now. So in your own time, let's come back onto our hands. We're going to extend this leg out, floating off. We're going to come for that tuck here, and tuck. That's it. So imagining we've got a football here onto our back, and we're coming and just giving it a little tap with those toes. Again, try not to drop through the shoulders or drop through the spine as you do it. Tap and tap. I'm feeling my hamstrings kicking in, and I'm working hard to keep my thigh up by just gently activating here through the back of my hip and my glutes. Okay, 3, 2, let's go to those fast kicks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3. And again. Off you go. When you feel confident, you can add in point, flex, point. Point, flex, point. That's it. Point, flex, point. So we're getting that nice change of foot position, challenging our coordination, and stopping our calf from getting overactive, so we get this into the hamstrings. Point, flex, point. Last 2. Last one, keep that knee up, and when you're ready, release back. Well done. Make sure that you're releasing any tension off from your back, or from your shoulders, or from those hamstrings for a shell stretch or a downward dog. Now again, let's bring that towel into place, or that cushion. You're going to pop it behind your knee. So I'm just popping it through into that leg, and then gripping it with the back of my calf. Setting my spine up again, I'm going to drive that leg up and down. Slicing that leg up into the air. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And I'll feel by having that towel there, I'm having to be a lot more specific about keeping my leg in that position. So I'm driving up, pointing through my toes, like I'm trying to dab my big toe up onto the ceiling, whilst keeping the shoulders and the pelvis in a nice neutral position. Not twisting, not rotating. Okay, let's do 3 more here. Okay, on your next one, you know what's coming. Let's hold up now, hold it in. Now squeeze that towel, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Go on, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. Keep going, go on, set those shoulders. Go back through all your posture. Make sure you've got that alignment. Squeeze that towel, squeeze that cushion. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, let's pop that out of the way. Well done. Fantastic. So we should be feeling that we work nice and hard through our hamstrings and through our glutes. We're going to come and lay onto our sides now, and we're going to do some work around the side of the hip. So, in terms of pelvic stability, we have lots and lots of work here, side to side, when we step onto our legs. So we've just done some stability here, which has helped to anchor our hips down. So we've got this connection running down into our legs here, and now we're going to work on that side to side, so that when you run and when you step, you're not having to hitch, you're not dropping down into that hip there. Okay, fantastic. So hopefully you're on your side by now. I'm going to come and lay down too. So from here, I'm going to extend my arm out, and I'm going to come and lay down the side. Now I've got my thick head block here. I might prefer to have a thinner head block, as suits me. So I'm going to start first of all here. My heels are together and my hips are stacked. I'm going to make a nice light waist here, so I'm not collapsing into the floor. My ribs are connecting, my waist is light, and I'm going to float my feet just off the floor. Now be careful that you've not got your knees tucked in front of you. Send the feet slightly behind, long spine, gripping those heels as open and close those heels for a clown. Now it's very tempting to quickly start rolling backwards here, so keep your hip forwards. Gently hold the heels together, gently squeezing. We're doing 3 more of these. 2, 1, hold here now, squeeze the heels, stay for me. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go again. So open and close. So this exercise is great for what we call selectivity of the hip. So as you're walking and stepping and you're changing directions, this is one of the exercises that can help you get better at that and have better strength and stability. Okay, 2 more here. On this next one, we're going to hold up. Now squeeze the heels together, lengthen the spine. Feel how when you get the glutes switching on, you actually don't have to grip or brace through your core. You can just gently activate it. Okay, let's go back one more set. Open and close. Open and close. Switch that core on. Activate as you're coming up. 2 more. Last one. Okay, hold it here now. Let's kick out and in. Out and in. 3, 2, 1. And when you're ready, close those legs down. Give that hip a nice little tap and rub through. You might find there's little bits of tension gripping around the back of the hip. Hopefully you're not noticing any tension into your groin or into your lower back. If you do, you know that you've lost your alignment, and we need to make sure we're stacking those hips forwards and down. Okay, we're going to straighten our legs out now, and my top leg now is going to float up into the air. I'm just going to lower and lift that leg. So I'm going up and down with that leg. Now again, it's very tempting to start rotating backwards. And actually what I'll do is use my hip flexor here. So just check as you're doing that lift and lower that your hips are forwards, so they're stacked over each other, and so are your ribs, so we're not getting that twisting effect. Feel free to just place your hand on the floor for some extra support. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold that leg here, circle, circle. That's it. Create a nice sweeping action. 3, 2, 1. Let's shift around the opposite way. Keep going. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Keep going. Nice long leg. 3, 2, 1. Now hold it there. Press away. Push that foot down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release those legs. You might like to give that hip a nice tap or a rub just to take away any of that tension. Okay, we're going to do one more version of this exercise. This time I'm going to leave my leg flexed underneath me. I'm going to bring that leg up and I'm going to tap it down to the front of my mat, up, and then tap it down to the back of the mat. If you are tight at the hip, you might feel that you can't get your foot down and you'll feel like you want to reach with your hip or reach with your body to try and counteract that. Don't worry about it. Don't try and force your foot down. Just imagine you're reaching back and down, even if your foot doesn't make contact. So, are you ready? Let's tuck those ribs in, set those hips, nice long spine, float that leg up, and let's tap forwards and up, back and up, forwards and up, back and up. So it's like you're drawing a triangle at the end of your mat. Try and make that really crisp and clean, rather than being sort of a bit of a kind of droopy, sort of up and over. Go on, lift and down, lift and back, lift and down. And again, you'll notice that I'm not particularly trying to lift my leg very high, mainly because I don't spend much of my day with my leg really far out to the side. So I'm trying to strengthen my body for what I need it to do. Okay, last two, last one. When you're ready, release that leg in, give that hip a nice tap, releasing any extra tension off. Okay, I'm going to swap my blocks around now. I'm going to bring that thicker block in front of me, and I'm going to grab my small head block here, so I've still got some alignment support for my neck. Top leg is going to come and take a well-deserved rest in front, and then my underneath leg is stretched out and in behind me. So from this position here, just make sure you're stacking those hips, bringing those ribs in. I'm going to go for a lift and lower of that leg now, up and down. Now don't worry if you don't feel that leg comes very high off the floor. I want you just to think about engaging the inner leg muscles, even if that means your leg just lightens off the floor. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Now circle and circle, circle. That's it. Last two. Last one. Change directions. Go. Go on. Try and aim for at least 6 of those circles, making them as smooth and circular as you can. Last one. When you're ready, hold here. Let's go forwards and back. Forwards and back. And you can see I'm just giving my foot a little sweeping action, just helping me to get that lovely lengthening through the leg, challenging my coordination, and also stopping my calf from over gripping and trying to stabilise in the wrong place. Last one here. When you're ready, relax that leg down. Now, I'm going to leave my leg where it is. I'm going to release my head here, bring this arm in front, and then I'm just going to very gently roll this arm behind me. Just for a nice counteractive spiral stretch all the way down through my body. Okay, last two, last breath cycle. And when you're ready, let's roll that arm back in, release those legs, and we're going to roll onto our back. So I'm going to get rid of my equipment, popping my blocks out the way, and I'm going to come and roll over onto my back. Nice long spine, making sure my lower back is in neutral, so I'm not slumping down, I'm not braced off of the mat here, and my feet are stepped nice and close towards my body. From here, I'm going to imagine I'm holding a balloon here between my knees. I'm not going to pop it or let it drift away, and we're going to peel up into the bridge, and then peel back down again. And again, pop up those hips, and then melt them back down into the floor. Now, for any reason, as I said, you might be avoiding rounding your spine, you can just find a neutral spine and lift and lower. Exhale, peeling up. Inhale, peel back down again. Press through the whole of the foot. Heels and those big toes pushing into the floor as we lift up and as we roll back down again. Okay, on your next one, let's lift up and hold it here. Pistoning with those ankles. Left ankle. And then right ankle, that's it. Keep these hips off. Now I'm not going all the way to the top of my bridge. I'm keeping my ribs relaxed. And I'm just pistoning with those left and right ankles whilst I keep my pelvis still. We've got 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then when you're ready, let's roll all the way down and then go back into your regular bridge. Peeling up and down. Peeling up and down. Exhale on the way up. Inhale back down. And I'm focusing on keeping my neck, my jaw, my shoulders soft, open and relaxed down into the mat. Okay, on your next one, up you come, almost but not quite to the top. 2 options. Either go back to your heel peels, or option number 2, go for your kicks. So our bridge kicks really challenges our stability here around the pelvis. So as you kick your leg out, brace through the supporting leg, pushing the foot down into the floor. You've got 2 more here. That's it. Extend and extend. Extend. Keep going. Last 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, let's peel all the way down and hug those knees in towards your chest. Fantastic. Releasing off that lower back. Hopefully feeling those glutes have worked hard. We're going to roll over onto our second side. So either you can roll in the opposite way or bring in your equipment with you. Let's bring ourselves round and down onto the other side. So I'm going to pop my block down. I'm going to use that as a head cushion for now. Extending my arms out, stacking those heels. When I'm ready, tuck those ribs in and stack those hips. Okay, let's float our feet off. Grip those heels just very lightly together, like you're holding a piece of paper there. When you're ready, open and close with the knees. Now this is a rotation exercise, so our compensations tend to be in rotation as well. So we tend to rotate with the upper body or rotate even through the pelvis as well. Keeping the pelvis nice and still, keeping the waist nice and light, creating a connection here. On your next one, you ready? Up we go, hold it here, squeeze those heels, you're going to stay there. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go again. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Imagining as you do this that you're squeezing into the hip rather than focusing on lifting the knee up. So think about the spine of this, so from the heels up to your hip. Okay, on your next one, up we go, exhale, lift and hold. Go on, stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set, go on, keep going. I know we're getting tired by now, we've worked really hard today. Pressing up with those knees. Exhale, and up. Keep the connection between those heels. Go on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll stay here now. We've got those 5 kicks. Ready? Off you go. 1. Go on. Connect those heels back together. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go on. Come back in. Release down. Give that hip a nice little tap. Release any tension off there. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, let's extend that leg out. Okay, let's lift and lower. So remember what I said, we're not thinking about trying to get our foot up on the ceiling. Generally, if we do that, we lose this chest position. So keep your hips down, keep the waist long, tapping up and down, just nice and light. You should sort of be aiming, as you can see, for just a bit wider than your hips, up to about shoulder width if you want to go high. Okay, from here, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's straighten that underneath leg out and let's go for circles. Circles. Go on, nice circles sweeping round. 2, 1 and change. Go on, scoop and reach. Try and think about reaching down with that circle. Otherwise we start to hula hoop here at the legs. 3, 2, 1. Okay, flex that underneath leg again. Let's tap forwards and up, back and up. Forwards and up, back and up. Keep going like that. Getting that nice triangular action at the hips. Slicing through the air. Keep going, last 3 and 2. Can you do one more for me? And when you're ready, lift up and release, giving that hip a nice well-deserved tap. So hopefully you should feel all that work around the bone you can feel here on the side of the hip, particularly back into the corner of the hip. So by that I mean the corner between where you would think of your bottom and your hip. So this little funny area that's neither your waist or your bottom or your hip, this little corner here. And that's a really important area that often we can get very over tight in. So let's bring that thick head block or cushion down now. I'm going to replace that with my thin head block to support my neck. And I'm going to bring this top leg forward to rest along here. So just position so that you've got that leg out of the way, but not so that you're twisting through the spine. Restack the posture, and then bring this leg in line with you. When you're ready, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Well done. So if this is uncomfortable on your lower hip, you might need an extra cushion underneath you. Usually that's a sign that we need to do a little bit more release around the hips. because generally we don't find it uncomfortable to sit on our sitting bones. It's usually tightness or lack of muscle bulk that actually is making it uncomfortable. Okay, on your next one here, let's circle, circle. Notice how your body wants to almost kind of swish through the ribs or hula hoop the body as you do this. Okay, let's change directions and circle, circle. Great, keep going. 3, 2, 1. Now hold here, forwards and back, forwards and back. We're getting that lovely long reach through the foot, elongating the way, stretching that leg long, feeling the inner leg working to keep that leg suspended in the air. Okay, 3 more, 2 and 1. Well done, release down and relax those legs. I'm just going to pop myself up onto sitting here. I'm going to bring my legs round into a cross position. Now you'll probably notice how, particularly around the sides of the hips, you might be feeling a little bit of tightness. So in this cross leg position, this can be a great way to stretch out. So just leaning slightly forwards for me, nice and long through the spine, rather than coming forwards and just rounding. So if that's working for you, stay here. If you feel like it, you already feel like you're rounded by being sat in this position. A couple of options. Grab that thick block, come and sit on top of it here, and that should tilt your pelvis forwards enough so that you can have a nice long spine position, and then you can reach forwards for your stretch from there. If that still isn't okay for you, I want you to change your position. So your legs come out in front of you, you step one leg across, and then you hug it across. So we end up in this little zigzag position like this. Okay. So you might like to have a go between those different stretches. If you are in cross leg, let's swap sides, crossing the legs over the other way and walking those hands forwards, creating a lovely long stretch all the way through those hips. Again, if you're going for that long leg position, let's swap over, bringing your foot across and hugging that knee across or twisting into that stretch. We're looking really for a stretch somewhere between the hip and the pelvis. Okay, whichever stretch you're doing, let's release out. And we're going to come and sit with our legs, our feet. So I've got one foot on the outside of each side of my mat, and I'm just gently resting back. And I'm going to roll my knees left and right. Now, if you have got any problems at the hip joint, if you've had any surgery or any sort of problems where you're not allowed to cross or twist your legs, what I want you to do, grab your little thin cushion, head block or towel, pop it between your knees. So I've got a little grip here, and I'm going to roll my knees together, still keeping those hips supported, just creating, to be honest, a little bit more mobility higher up into the pelvis and a very light stretch around the hips. So stay with that one if there's any problems with your joints, but if not, we're here rolling left and right. Okay, I'm going to keep my legs draping to my left-hand side here now. I'm going to walk myself up into sitting, changing that stretch slightly, and then I'm going to walk myself back down onto my elbows. Just changing that stretch again. Off we go. Walk up into sitting, stretch, and then walk back down onto those elbows. If you're feeling okay in this position, I'm going to take my foot that's furthest away from me and hop it onto that leg just to increase that stretch. But like I said, if this is not the stretch for you, if you've got any problems, any surgery on the hip, you just keep here with your knees going to the side with your board or your head block between them. Okay, last two here. Last one. Okay, when we come forwards now, I'm going to walk myself up. Two options. Either go back to the stretch you were doing here, where you're hugging your knee in if that's safe for you. If not, we're going to do a little bit of a twist. I'm going to step one foot round. So from the front here, I'll show you my legs. One foot goes behind, the other one goes across. So I've got this little cross leg position. And then I'm going to hug my knee and I'm just going to sit up tall. I'm trying to push my tailbone down onto the floor. So this is almost a bit of like a pretzel, isn't it, that we've got ourselves twisted into here. If that's too intense, legs come out front, I'm just over my shin, so I'm not into as much hip flexion, and then I'm just rotating slightly. Okay, last second there, and when you're ready, you release. So if you're doing this version, just literally swap those legs over, coming through. If you're in the other version, scoot that underneath leg through, hop this one in, hug onto your knee. Now sit up tall, sit down into your tailbone. Feel that stretch deep into the hip. We've done lots and lots of stability work all around every fibre of your gluteals today. I don't think there was any that escaped. If they did, then we definitely need to have a look at them. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, go back to those spiral legs. So, legs going side to side for me. If you were, pop the board back between your knees, keep the legs together, and just rotating more from the pelvis and the waist. So rotating with those legs, creating this lovely openness here. Now, this time knees go to the right hand side. I'm going to walk myself up, change that stretch slightly, and then I'm going to walk myself back down again. Change that stretch. Off we go again. Walking up and walking down. Well done. This time staying down. Outside leg hitches over on top of that leg. So I'm ending up in this spiral position here. So I was like this, took that leg, popped it on top, and stretching through. Giving a big stretch here across the outside of my hip flexors into my hip, and then very deep, right up, almost is a bit indescribable where that stretches, but it's one of my deep hip rotators that I'm having good stretch out, and that's really, really good as well for helping to balance the pelvic floor. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's release off. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves round into high kneeling again, nice and tall for a spine. We're going to go to those half camels, reaching the hand behind me, the other hand goes up towards the sky. Remember, don't collapse down, think connect here through the legs, lift up to the sky, open the chest nice and wide, big breath in, and as you breathe out, release, and let's switch over, other side, reaching up, taking a nice big breath in, and then breathing out, releasing back down again. Let's take ourselves all the way back into a shell stretch, and as you go, walk those knees wide if that feels okay for you, and just gently rock your body left and right just to mobilise into the inner legs and the groin, taking any extra tension out of those. We don't need to push deeply into this stretch. Let's do 2 more little wriggles left and right, and then when you're ready, walk yourself back up and bring yourself to a position of comfort. Now I would encourage you just to spend another 5 minutes working in around your glutes and your lower back with your spiky ball. And if not, definitely within the next 24 hours. Lovely to see you all. I hope to see you on your mats again soon. Bye now.